Would you spend $85 on a sleep mask? I saw some ads for the Manta Sleep company, and as somebody who already uses a sleep mask, I figured that this would be the perfect time to try a more premium option. Now, I always want to be 100% transparent with you guys. I did not buy this sleep mask. So no, I am not sponsored by this video, and I am not being paid to make this video. This video is going to be 100% of my personal opinion. So in this video, I'm going to go over what the Manta Sleep company is, who these masks are for, we'll take a look at the Manta PRO Sleep Mask, I'll share my personal experience with the mask, and finally, I'll share my honest opinion if this is something that might be worth your money. So let's get into it. So, Manta Sleep is a company that's primary goal is to help people achieve a better night of sleep. Their primary products are their eye masks, although they do sell several other things. There are several sleep masks to choose from, with the lowest price starting at $35 and their most expensive mask reaching up to $143, if you could believe that. What makes these eye masks more premium and different from regular eye masks is that these masks have eye cups which create zero pressure on your eyes as you sleep. The mask that I have today is the Manta PRO Sleep Mask. This mask, as well as others, block out 100% of the light within a given space. What makes this variant different is that this mask has been designed for people who sleep on their sides. It comes in two different colors, classic and carbon black, and costs $85, which is pretty expensive. But one saving grace that Manta Sleep has is their 60-day return policy, so if you feel like the mask isn't a fit for you for any reason at all, you can return it and get a refund. Alright, so why would you even want something like this? Like, who are these even for? Well, if you're an average person like me who works a 9-to-5 job, then it's more than likely that you're not the target audience for most of these masks. Most of these masks would be more suited for people who work graveyard shifts, which are shifts that typically range from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. Some jobs that require these working hours are doctors, nurses, security guards, truck drivers, and many more. People that work these kind of jobs more than likely sleep during the day when the sun is out, which makes it harder to sleep. And at this point, some of you might be thinking, well, why not just buy blackout curtains? And that's a valid point. This is where I assume the price comes into play for these masks, because if I go on Amazon, I can see some blackout curtains that are worth around $40. Now, it's more than likely you're going to have to buy a couple of these, which will slowly start to add up the total cost. Not to mention, you'll probably need to spend time to hang them up, but what if you're in a scenario where blackout curtains are not an option? So for example, like when you're on a road trip, or you're trying to sleep in the middle of the day, or when you're on a plane and you're exhausted from traveling. These kinds of scenarios are where I can see the mask also be beneficial for an average person. But those scenarios may pertain more towards the lower end mask, which is priced at $35. So let's take a look here and finally see what we have with the Manta PRO Sleep Mask. Front and center, we have the Manta logo. The mask itself is pretty stretchy and durable, so you won't have to worry about tearing it up easily. The website says that the mask is made from a premium perforated foam and mesh. Flipping it over, we can see the anti-slip gel, which has a nice grip to it, so it doesn't slide off your head if you move around in your sleep like I do. We can also see the C-shape eye cups here, since they are designed for people who sleep on their sides. The website says that the interior is made of tactile. I had to look this up and found that tactile is an adapted form of nylon developed for the apparel market, and I can confirm that the tactile is very soft. The C-shaped cups are also designed for temperature regulation, allowing it to have increased breathability. You can also remove the eye cups and place them according to your eye distance in case you look like Sloth from the Goonies, or Sid from Ice Age. Both the eye cups and the mask are held together by Velcro, so you can easily adjust them according to the shape of your head. So I've actually had this mask for over 6 months now, but I'm not somebody that works a graveyard shift, so I haven't used them like every night or every other night. But there are times when I don't get enough sleep the night before, and I end up taking a midday power nap. When that's the case, this is my go-to sleep mask. And the fact that I'm a side sleeper means that this variant suits my needs perfectly. Other than that, my typical night mask is this little rinky-dink one that does the job just fine at night. So now, let me share some pros and cons of the Manta PRO Sleep Mask. Some of the pros. Blocks out 100% of light, it's very soft and comfortable, it fits securely on your head, and for this last pro, I can't really confirm that this pro has any scientific proof, but I do feel like I fall asleep a little quicker with this mask. I can only imagine it's because of the 100% blockout capabilities. Now let's move on to the cons. Now the biggest con, and probably the only con, is going to be the price. $85 for a sleep mask is very expensive, and it looks like the materials consist of mostly foam and Velcro. I just can't imagine that this this mask would cost more than $10 to manufacture. However, there is a regular sleep mask that costs $35 that can more than likely still get the job done. Now, to counter this expensive cost, there are also some Amazon alternatives that may help provide the same 100% blackout capabilities for a much more reasonable cost. However, I haven't tested any of those, so if you want, you could try to dig around for a cheaper option that might suit your needs on Amazon. So is the Manta PRO Sleep Mask worth the money? Well, to answer that question, I really feel like it depends on the individual. If you're somebody like me who works an average 9 to 5 and goes to sleep at night, and you don't mind sleeping on like planes or in a car ride, then the answer is going to be no, I don't think this is worth the money for you. However, if you are somebody that works a graveyard shift every other night, then this may be a viable option for you. If you're kind of on the fence about it, then I would lean more towards trying it out because Manta Sleep does have a 60-day return policy, so if you don't like it for any reason, then you can just return it for your full refund. Because whether you're spending $35 for the base one or $85 for the Pro Sleep Mask, or even $143 for the most expensive one they have, they all qualify for a 60-day return policy. So if that's the case, then you could just return it for a full refund if you don't think it's for you. And to help you guys out, I was able to obtain a 10% discount code from Manta Sleep to help trim some of that total cost down. So overall, what are your guys' thoughts on the Manta PRO Sleep Mask? Do you agree and think that these prices are way too much for a sleep mask? If so, what do you think the ideal price for a sleep mask like this would cost? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.